Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries, welcome to another Magic Monday. We're going to talk about marketing and business and implementing magic into your promotions, perhaps, and a few other things. And I got my friend Magic Mike. Not that one. He likes to say that. In fact, he's even got a label on his lapel that lets people know. So let's bring him on here. Magic Mike, greetings.
Hey,
how you doing?
Here we are once again, beginning our week with fun.
Absolutely. You got to do it.
Yep.
You know, people dread Mondays. I don't know why, but have you ever tried to promote an event on a Monday? It seems like it's really hard to get anything going because people are kind of like,
yeah. I love Mondays. I think Mondays are new beginnings, a new opportunity, for it's like a restart, every Monday we get the chance to like do something good,
Well, self-employed people, usually it's that way because they don't have to work. But
right.
People that have that job got to go to work.
Yeah,
so it's got that stigma. But I believe that a lot of things are kind of catching up from all the weekend stuff that's going on. So
yeah.
Today I want to talk a little bit about, again, marketing and online marketing and sort of a hybrid of the live event marketing, because over the past a long time, the internet has been, it's amazing to me because it's always on 24/7, 365. It's always there. But I've noticed that they're getting less and less attention, and that's because more and more people are getting more and more attention. So there's the live physical aspect of things, and that's why I'm doing like postcard mailings with QR codes and stuff like that.
Right.
And you also do some restaurant performing as far as your magical entertainment. I did that for many, many years too.
Yep.
You utilize that as a physical, in-person kind of thing. It kind of gets you off the internet and into real life. And I'm assuming you kind of promote yourself there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I've been in restaurants for probably almost 25 years. And yeah, so obviously back then, it was all word of mouth, and it still is word of mouth today, but it's word of mouth is also spread to like more social networking now, as opposed to just being, in front of people. But it's all the same goal. It's the same goal is to bring exposure and awareness to myself, to the restaurant, create a symbiotic relationship, to where I can, I can bring clients in that they want to come and see me perform somewhere where they can't normally come see me, like at a wedding or an event that's private, but I can always invite them over to the restaurant. And of course, the restaurant sort of benefits from that as well, because we bring in.
I was just going to say, you mentioned the restaurant. I think a lot of performers get in and they think it's a big magic show, but it's really about the restaurant, getting people in, putting butts in seats, circulating them, turning them over, and all that. Do you do some like promotion for yourself and the restaurant as far as getting reviews on Yelp and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So basically, like, this is a new one I just got with Rosati's, and we do gift cards. I do contests with as part of my work with the restaurants. So one of the things is I focus not just on the magic, but I also focus on driving traffic. And so I know we've talked about Facebook groups and stuff, but I also run contests. So I have a third-party application that ties in with Facebook that basically I can have people go over, they can enter the contest. All they got to do is just click one button, and I automatically can get their email and their name without having to have them fill out a form. And this is just one of the things I do to help build up a list of an email list, and also a social media following to give away a gift card to my restaurant. Oh. Yeah. So, but yeah,
a wealth of knowledge. I wish you lived here in Minneapolis and we could talk more, because these are all things that I'm thinking about. And you've got, I get confused oftentimes when you're trying to choose an app that does that kind of thing, because there's so many of them and you don't know which one to pick.
Yeah. I use 22 Social. That's it's 22S.
Okay, I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, and so also, this is something I really don't talk about a lot. And this is I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but I have a tracking system. So what happens is that this is redeemable, and it also has a promo code tied to it. So whenever somebody comes in, and by the way, this can only be used on the nights that I'm there. And so they can only come back in and watch me perform. But this, when they redeem their check and they bring in their family, this gets actually put under my code. So at the end of the month, we can actually go back and do a report and see like what amount I brought in. So,
man, I wish more magicians would take marketing courses and understand if they're going to start working like, restaurants and trade shows and things like that. If they're just entertaining, that's one thing. But if they're trying to do anything on a marketing level, I wish they knew more.
Well, restaurants base their decision on what to spend money on the return. You know, they're not, no restaurants in it just to go, hey, here's free money. You know, we want to give away free money. They need to recoup those expenses somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a lot of magicians miss that whole section of the book. You know, when they approach a restaurant, they just want to go, oh, well, I can entertain and entertainment's fine, but there has to be a point to where that money that's being spent is recuperated by the restaurant somehow. And if you can track it, and then you can actually show the restaurant, hey, I brought you in, 6x of what you spent on me last month. There's really no refutable evidence. You know, it's refutable evidence that that they can't. You're an asset. You know, like
I've had situations like that. My target here in Minneapolis was corporate, because there's a lot of Target, Medtronic, Cargill, 3M, Pillsbury, General Mills. You know, it's all a lot of corporate here in Minneapolis.
Right.
So I would be promoting them to come to the restaurant, and if all of a sudden that person says, "Hey, this is a wonderful restaurant, they should cater our picnic."
Yeah.
And now you've got them dropping a check for $5,000, $10,000 for a company picnic. The restaurant's got to go, whoa, maybe it's okay to have you come in here and do card tricks once a week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing, is like they instantly see the benefit, you know, like whenever I shouldn't say instantly, because I always tell restaurants 4 to 6 weeks just to give the time, you know, to build up, because it's very rare that it happens overnight. But I think once you've established yourself within a month or so, you know, like that's when the traffic starts picking up.
Do you work outside of the restaurant, promoting the restaurant? Like if you had a gig, would you say, hey, be sure to stop by and see me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah. I do that. And plus that's part of my job anyways, that I do with the restaurants. I mean, I can schedule a post in a group and you know, in no time. I've got a whole section of posts I've already pre-written over the last, 5 years when it came to social media. So I just find one and I just copy and paste it, and I just change out the restaurant name. So. And
do the restaurants compete with each other? Are they good with, you can come and see me on Tuesdays over here when I'm working here on Thursdays? Is that cool?
Yeah. So the only one I've ever had to deal with on that was actually this one I have right across the street over here. It's called Hurricanes. It's like a wing, and they have a family night on Thursday nights. That's where I do kids nights. I've been there for almost 3 years now. But there's another one in Apopka, which is like maybe 10 minutes down the road. And there's a nice community called Sweetwater, and Sweetwater is like right in between. And they have like those $300,000 plus homes, you know, and they're trying to like target that, not 300, you know, but anyways, the median income is more in that specific area. And Mike, the owner of this one, was very weird, because the other Mike that owns the other one, there's 2 Mikes.
3.
And I'm Mike, yeah. And so the other Mike wanted me on Tuesday nights, and the other Mike here was like, yeah, I don't want to have you go over and do that one, because it's still the same brand, you know, the same Hurricanes, and people can come see you over there instead of over here. That's the only one I've ever had really that had a problem with me performing at a similar restaurant. So.
See, I run into that stuff when I'm promoting this, where is it, my little Synergy collaborative thing.
Yep.
A lot of people are still thinking competition consciousness, and it's weird because when someone's hungry, they know what they want, when they want, and where they want to go.
Yep.
So it isn't really, I mean, if they want the wings because they love them,
yeah,
they're going to opt out of Magic Mike and go have the wings.
Yeah.
Unless you really got them impressed, right?
Or they have kids, because kids are another driving factor when it comes to deciding where to go to eat. You know, I have 5 kids. We have, 4 here, and it's almost always going to be a family night somewhere where kids eat free, because obviously, you can save some money that way. And also the fact that it's just easier as parents.
That's kind of my point, that the establishment kind of doesn't determine where you're going to eat.
Right.
You kind of make it up on your own if it's a date night versus a family night versus elegant or just something to fill your face and kind of thing.
Yeah. It's just easier to say, hey, kids, where do you want to go? Let's go to the place with the magician. Okay, fine with me.
Do you do anything in the area of birthday marketing, like doing specials, getting people to come in for their birthday, or doing I
don't actually. That's a good question. I should probably start focusing on that. But, I'll be honest, I rarely have time to I barely have time to do these talks, actually, because of the fact that I've got a whiteboard over here with about 12 projects on it right now. So I'm constantly busy with doing design and the marketing stuff, for my clients. And so I don't really have a lot of outside time to really promote too many things as far as restaurants. I think they're pretty happy with me just designing the posters and the banners and then any of the social media graphics, and then going into the groups and trying to drive some traffic. I'm still packing value on top of what I'm doing, with the magic, so they're happy. So.
Oh, got it. That sounds good. The reason I like birthday marketing is because you can kind of go month to month to month, and there's only 12 months in a year, so there's only 12 campaigns you got to set up for anybody that's having a birthday in May. Drop on in.
Perfect.
And I got this sort of set up here in Minneapolis for the event industry where it's date night, but I'm targeting on Facebook people that have a birthday in May and they have an interest in event planning. So they're very probably a corporate event planner from Best Buy Corporation.
Right.
And they go in there on date night with their better half or whatever. I want the restaurant to know that this person is the event planner for Best Buy Corporation. So realize they may be doing a huge picnic or a sales meeting or a employee recognition event of some sort. So give these people some good appetizers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they bring in a little thing that gives them a complimentary appetizer or dessert.
Right.
That restaurateur needs to know that this isn't just date night where it's a one-off. This is a probable big thing. So, it's not a loss, really.
Yeah, it's a lather, rinse, repeat process. So.
Yeah. And I was getting some momentum with that, with the live events and getting people to come into restaurants. Then that COVID thing came along, and so I'll be resurrecting that. Me and my friend Bo are talking a lot more about birthday marketing.
Cool.
And if you get into the woo end of it, you can do the zodiac, and it's a very similar kind of thing. If you want to do like, hey, it's Gemini night or Taurus night.
Oh, nice. I like that. I like it a lot. Or twin night. You can do a twin night.
You could do that. You could have it's Magic Mike and Magic Brad, and you come in and you're both Geminis, and
yeah. we there's the restaurant I do now, Hurricanes. I was telling you about. The owner actually came to me. They have a big like a courtyard patio area they just opened up in the back, and she came to me the other night and she's like, hey, we want to start hosting like birthday parties and different events. She's like, would you be up for me putting you down as like, somebody that they could hire? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, actually, do you have any face painters and balloon people? I'm like, I've got a ton of those people. So, I think there's an opportunity also to sort of joint venture with people in your own town, if you know anybody, and then just to take that and say, hey, listen, we're available for these private events as well. So.
Yeah, a lot of places, a lot of restaurants have those little party rooms to rent out. There's a pizza place here, Devani's. They've got, the party room is free if you order at least $20 worth of pizza.
Yeah.
No brainer,
Yeah.
Well, before we sign off, what is it that you would like to share and talk about? Something, push yourself a little bit. I think I got your little link up here, Eaton Magic. Not only are you a magic performer, but you are a savvy marketer and web designer. So they can contact you here at Eaton Magic for any of that kind of digital marketing stuff. Yeah,
that's actually my magic site. Have you ever heard of the old phrase, the cobbler's sons wear no shoes? That's kind of that's kind of what happened with me in the marketing, because the website for my marketing, because I don't have one.
Sometimes you don't need one.
I don't, and I stay super busy because, obviously my niche, but I'm very active in social networking. I have multiple ways that I can track people that are needing stuff. I think a lot of people fail to realize that Facebook is a search engine, and so they have their search capability inside of there. And if you can put in like different functions, different search functions, you can actually just kind of monitor. You just kind of like peek at like who's posting what you want to talk about. If you want to book a birthday party and you want to just go into like a Facebook group and type in, birthday party in quotation marks, and it'll show you everybody in that group that's mentioned the word birthday party. And then you can just kind of scan through there and say, hey, they're looking for ideas for birthday parties. Great. Let me make a connection, and you just kind of introduce yourself at that point. So.
Yeah, it seems like most of this marketing stuff is about giving than receiving. I think this reception just comes back. And you're familiar with the term jam auction, I'm assuming?
No, I haven't. I'm not.
It's a term that, at least I think it is, but it's about you give, and eventually that person feels obligated.
Yeah, reciprocity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I guess they do it in Las Vegas where, hey, you want to watch? You can have it. Or I'll sell you this $20 watch for $3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you keep them there and you keep giving them these good things when the reality in the alleys of Vegas, you know that it's a $2 watch or a 50-cent watch or a stolen watch.
Or a comp buffet or a comp room or something like that, you know?
Yeah, so they end up giving a lot of stuff and eventually you feel obligated to reciprocate. So it's a law of, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So I noticed that that's a lot of your marketing is you just give value, get into the groups, share ideas, and eventually someone says, hey, would you? And then you got business. So why do you need a website if you got social media like this to be able to talk to people?
Yeah, no, it's completely true, you know. And there's even been times like when I do have time where I'll see somebody needs a business card. I'm like, hey, I'm looking to get business cards designed. And I'll just take it upon myself to go ahead and throw together a quick design, and I'll just shoot them a mock-up of it. And they're like, whoa! And I'm like, yeah, man, this is kind of how my vision was for it. But I just want to kind of give you some inspiration on how I, as a designer, saw it. And they would just go, I'll just take that one.
We got a comment here from looks like a fellow magician, but they're anonymous Facebook user.
Yeah, yeah.
There are a couple things that happened to me doing restaurants. One gave me a raise without asking for it, and the go a job doing Walmart. Oh, they got a job. Got a job doing walk around.
Yeah,
absolutely. Restaurants are a great place.
I heard about that actually. I think it was this was in the instance that I heard was like a Black Friday event. You know, they wanted people, they were just waiting around, you know, and so they hired like magicians to go perform at the Black Friday event while people were waiting.
Well, on that topic, before we sign off, what's the weirdest magic gig you've ever done?
Me?
Yeah.
Weirdest?
Give me two of them.
Oh man. I can tell you some things that it wasn't a weird one, but the Kentucky Derby train, I got hired for the Derby train to go to the Derby by the governor. The governor actually hired me, and I was on the train with like a handful of celebrities, and there was just a lot of things that happened on that train. And when you got off, you just had about a dozen state troopers that were just like, no matter how bad you were, they were like, I'll give you a ride. Come right this way.
One of those parties. Yeah, you see a lot of stuff in this magic business. I've had people die in my shows before. Literally, we lost a guy in the audience.
Oh my God.
That's not a funny one, but it's something.
Yeah.
I had a situation where I've never, I can claim I've never missed a show, except for there was one situation here in Minneapolis. It was me and my best friend, David Stahl, the crowd magnet. Him and I were doing a gig at the Marriott where there was two magicians, and then we got on two buses and we went out to the lake and get on two boats.
Oh,
well,
nice.
There was a tornado. So I missed my bus.
Oh my gosh, man.
I couldn't get out to my gig.
That blows.
But my good friend Dave, he was out on his boat because he got on his bus. He was the first bus that left, and he made it out there. And then he did some gigs. Then he told the captain, he made up a story. He's really good at storytelling, and he got the captain to bring him back to the dock. It was something about his wife's pregnant and stuff. It was just BS, but he got off that boat, got on my boat, introduced himself as me, and did a set for me on the boat. So I can say I've never missed a gig before.
That's brilliant. I love it. I love it.
Oh, God, that was...
Here you go.
Yeah,
man.
Okay, buddy, we've got almost 19 minutes here and almost into 20. I like to keep these short, and we got other things to do, right?
Yeah. Anything else? Does anybody got any questions that are watching right now?
I don't see any. There's just that one comment.
There's usually a couple second delays, so I'll hang in for another.
What's interesting about this platform, and this is part of what I want to talk about, the hybrid kind of thing, because I'm shifting a lot of my stuff, like I said, back into good old postcards because the longevity is so much longer.
Yeah.
And I think that social media, they're not really suppressing us, but there's a lot more activity on, so it's hard to be noticed when you got a lot of other people on there. And I just haven't been getting the traffic on this Facebook thing that I used to get.
So we've had this discussion in private, I think, about split testing and stuff like that. And that's the only thing I really don't. I think print is great, but you cannot track certain metrics that need to be tracked when it comes to.
Let's use a QR code.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean. Well, exactly. Yeah, you can track the QR code where they're coming from mobile, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, if you have a specific page, like a landing page set up with that QR code, you could probably track that. But as far as like with email, I can track open rates. You know, with visitation metrics, I can see how long people are staying on my page. I can see where they're hovering at. I can, there's a lot of things I can monitor, and then I can tweak. And I think Chris Weed, who's a friend of mine out in California, he obviously has the best. I can't really say anything about it. He goes, what my metric is? The money. He goes, that's how I track. That's how I track the sales. And there's going to be there's going to be people that are like that. They don't care about clicks. They don't care about open rates. They just want to make sales. But to me, it's like I have to measure things before I can determine how do I make my sales better, though. So.
I just find there's a lot of false positives out there. You got followers, but their username is user6929493, and there's 16 of those people because you got somebody created a program to auto do things, and
right.
You got to figure out how to sort those out. And they're getting really good at making fake profiles and stuff too.
I can't confirm this works, but I just read it. I woke up this morning at like 6. I had to get my kids ready, and I have my morning routine where I go through my emails and stuff. I saw somebody post something that was kind of interesting about on Gmail. If you actually have a Gmail account, or you can actually put like mine's EatonMagic1212@gmail.com. He said that you can actually put plus, and then whatever the folder is after your email before the Gmail actually, and it'll just automatically sort those inbound, the people that come that respond back. It'll just file them right into that folder. I had no idea that you could do that.
Yeah, you can also create multiple email addresses and create multiple Twitter accounts under that added email.
Well, this was just like an action. This is just like EatonMagic.com or EatonMagic1212, and that would be plus spam@gmail.com. And then what would happen is that I could give that to, like, say, a retailer if they want my email address, and it'll just go straight to spam. I had no idea that you can do that.
There's too much stuff to do. Mike, I'm going to put you in the green room. If you want, grab some of those M&Ms and some Cheetos back there, and I'll talk to you in soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, buddy. Peace.
Peace.
This guy is a wealth of knowledge, and he's been doing the restaurant stuff longer than Danny Fleshman, I think. And I love that he has some marketing savvy. I've got marketing savvy, but limited on tech stuff. I get confused with a lot of that stuff. So I'm going to sign this off. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Enjoy your day. Be good. Be kind. And if you want to know more, just Google us. Magic Mike. You might find somebody else, but if you go to Michael Eaton Magic, I'm going to put that up there just for that so you can see it. This is how you get a hold of Michael. Eaton Magic. It's not eating, it's Eaton. Okie doke. Peace. See ya.